Welcome to Community Unitarian Universalist Church's online worship service. Today, Reverend Kris Cervantes is going to talk about mothers, Mother's Day, and bread and roses. We also have some wonderful music from Queen Cee, Aretha Franklin, and Peter, Paul, and Mary. Enjoy.
All that life is made of, mothers are made of too. So says poet Mary Harrington, and yes, so say we. We gather this morning, separate but not alone, to say, yes, all that life is made of, mothers are made of too. All of us were born of a mother, good, bad, or indifferent. All of us have been mothered, and thank God for that. Some of us are mothers too, members of a not-so-secret society, about half the women in America, for starters. Mothers are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, and struggle and pain and hard work. Mothers are made of relationships and worry, support and encouragement, and fear and love. Sometimes mothers are made of resentment and sorrow. And sometimes we're made of unicorns and sewn-on sequins, sometimes both at once. All that life is made of, mothers are made of too. So come in, all you mothers and children of mothers. Life has made you too, and she used a mother to do it. So come in, and let us be seen for all that we are becoming, all that is given and received, all that is shared. All that life is made of, mothers are made of too. This morning's chalice lighting is by Alice Anicheka-Naisman, Grounding in Our Faith. And before I begin, I will light our chalice. Strong flame there that will keep burning throughout our time together. And Alice Anicheka-Naisman gives us these words. In a time of uncertainty, when everything around us is changing constantly, each day new developments, rising numbers, changing guidelines, when the world we live in suddenly seems upside down and topsy-turvy, we light our chalice to remind ourselves of the grounding in our faith. We remember that the flaming chalice came into being as a beacon of hope in a time of war, a secret symbol that offered help. In the midst of it all, we wrap ourselves in the warm light of a familiar flame, a reminder of the strength that emerges when we come together in community.
As Unitarian Universalists, we come together from a variety of backgrounds with many different beliefs. What binds us together is purpose and our shared covenant. So please join me as we say our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another.
Come marching in the beauty of the day. 1,000,000 darkened kitchens, 1,000 mil lost gray, are torched with all the radiance that a sudden sun discloses. And the people hear us singing, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we come marching, we battle too for men, for they are women's children, and we'll mother them again. Our sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies. Give us bread, but give us roses. Marching, 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 bread and roses. As we come marching, marching, unnumbered women dead go crying through us, singing their ancient cry for bread. Small art and love and beauty, their judging spirits new. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. Bread and roses. As we come marching, marching, we bring the greater day. The rising of the women means the rising of the race. No more the drudge and idler, tend that toll where one reposes, but a sharing of life's glories. Give us bread, but give us roses. Ooh, bread and roses. Bread and roses. Bread and roses.
Let's read How to Raise a Mom. How to Raise a Mom by Jean Regan, illustrated by Lee Wildish. Raising a happy, healthy mom is fun and important. Are you ready for some tips? First of all, help your mom ease into the day. How to start her morning. Let her sleep in, just a little longer. Then kiss, kiss, kiss her awake. Fling open the curtains and say, "Rise and shine, your breakfast is ready." When it's time to get dressed, be sure to give her choices. How to dress a mom. Not too serious, not too silly, not too sparkly. Perfect. A mom can forget things when she's hurrying to leave the house, so help her by piling it all at the door. Snacks, toys, purse, keys, phone, shopping list, library books to return, letters to mail, more snacks and more toys. Errands are fun until you end up in a long line. If your mom starts to get a little cranky, surprise her with a snack and a toy. If that doesn't work, act out a goofy story. If that still doesn't work, try saying, in a very cheerful voice, "Thank you so much, Sweet Pea, for being so patient." When you're finally done, if you're lucky, you might run into a friend. Right away, plan a playdate for your mom. Whisper, "Remember to be a good sharer." Back at home, if your mom has work to do, tell her, "It's quiet time." Shh. Then start your own project. On regular days, you've probably noticed moms tidy up without being asked. Today it's your turn. A happy, healthy, strong mom needs exercise. How to exercise with a mom. Take turns scoring goals. Race against the wind. Hop like a kangaroo. Swing like a monkey. Slither like a snake. When your mom's all tired out, show her the best ways to relax. How to relax. Hold a yoga pose for as long as you can. Lie on the grass and look for wiggly worms, slimy snails, and roly-poly bugs. Sing her a lullaby. Rock-a-bye, mommy, sleeping under the tree. But what if rainy weather keeps you stuck inside? How to entertain a mom inside. Plan an indoor beach day. Teach her how to paint rainbows. Set up a zoo all across the floor. Don't forget the sharks. Soon it's time for dinner, and that most surely means vegetables. If your mom's a picky eater, try these tricks. Broccoli. Pretend she's a dinosaur gobbling up the trees. Roar! Chomp! Chew. Cauliflower. They're snowy day trees. Roar! Chomp! Chew. Carrots. Make them into a heart. Give her a choice. Which will you eat first? Your peas or your beans? When it starts to get dark, your mom may want to skip right to bedtime stories, but tell her, nope, not yet. First you have to put away your toys, wash your face, put on your pajamas, brush your teeth, hop into bed. Now it's time for stories. If she asks, one more, please, say, okay, but just once. Remind her it's important to get to sleep on time. Then snuggle up and ask, what was the best thing about today? She'll snuggle back and say, you. And that's how you raise a happy, healthy mom. The end.
Our pastoral prayer today is based on a prayer you may have heard in this time of COVID-19. It was written by Jimmy Grace, and I have added to it a little bit for our particular needs here. I used it early in this time of online services, but I feel like it's a good time to revisit it. Maybe every week. It's a really beautiful prayer. So, may we who are merely inconvenienced remember those whose lives are at stake. We pray for all those on the front lines, from EMTs, doctors, nurses, and health aides, to grocery stockers and checkers. May we who have no risk factors remember those who are the most vulnerable. May the spirit of life burn brightly in them, and may we protect them in these times and always. May we who have the luxury of working from home remember those who must choose between preserving their health or making their rent. And so let us hold them in our hearts and vote to end the human rights abuses of unregulated capitalism. May we who have the flexibility to care for our children when their schools close remember those who have no such options. Protect these children from harm at home, Spirit of Life. Nurture their parents as caregivers and teachers, and give both parents and children patience and humor with one another. May we who have to cancel our trips remember those who have no safe place to go. Keep the children safe, we pray. The disabled, the elderly, the vulnerable who live in precarious situations of isolation, abuse, or neglect, made more so by the separation of these times. May we who are losing our margin money in the tumult of the economic market remember those who have no margin at all. We pray for ongoing economic and social support for those in severe need, and the determination to see that support through in the face of greed and consumption, which continue to demand their sacrifices. May we who settle in for a quarantine at home remember those who have no home. How shall we hold the homeless, God of many names? When will we open the resources and doors of this wealthy nation to those lacking shelter? As fear grips our country, let us choose love. During this time when we cannot physically wrap our arms around one another, let us yet find ways to be the loving embrace of God and compassion and love to our neighbors. Amen. Join us now for a moment of meditation, a time of quiet contemplation. I have a reading for you, and then there will be a brief musical interlude. And you, of course, can pause the service for as long as you'd like to continue this meditative moment. This is brought to us by Maureen Killoran, entitled, Let Us Tell Stories of Mothers. Let us tell stories of mothers, stories that could be true. Let us tell of warm mothers, soft and round, likely to be found with flour on their nose, and always ready to pour you a glass of milk to go with the cookies on your plate. These mothers are increasingly rare. Let us tell of mothers who are like bubbles of champagne. They surprise your senses, leave you giggly, but when you least expect it, they erupt with an unexpected pop. Stories that could be true. Then there are grouchy mothers, stressed mothers, tired mothers, exhausted mothers, faces lined with worry and spirits worn and gray. Other mothers are wise and reliable, not prone to many words or to a lot of noise, but you know that when you need them, they'll be there. Let us tell of fierce mothers, the ones who'll love you even when you're wrong. And let us tell also of absent mothers, whose memory shimmers at the edges of your heart. Let us tell of distant mothers, cruel mothers, loving mothers, giving mothers. There are walk-away mothers, save the world mothers, too busy mothers, mothers you cried because you lost them, and mothers who make you cry because you can't. Stories that could be true. May we hold in our hearts the mothers we have known, those who loved us and those who tried. May we forgive the mothers who didn't get it right and try to release the knots of disappointment, anger, grief, and pain. May we hold in our hearts the truth that mothering, nurturing, is a task that belongs to us all. However old or young you are, whatever your gender, may you make extra room for nurturing in your life this week. May you say something real to a harried store clerk. Give a coworker a genuine compliment. Take time to listen deeply to a friend. In our shared silence, may we remember and reflect and create anew the stories of love and nurture. From this point forward, stories that can be true. Every year, the Mother's Day sermon gets a little weirder to write. I love Mother's Day. As a mom, as a daughter, as a sister to two great moms, as a friend to lots and lots of amazing mamas, I do love Mother's Day. So writing a Mother's Day reflection should be easy. Just talk about how wonderful moms are and call it a day. I have friends, though, congregants and otherwise, who have had terrible experiences with their moms. Moms who were abused and abusive, moms who disappeared physically and or emotionally, moms who struggled with addiction and untreated mental health issues. I have friends who can't become moms, or who couldn't until they'd spent thousands of dollars and untold tears to get through invasive, often painful interventions just to make pregnancy possible. I have friends, women friends, the mom possibles, who don't want to be moms, who are tired of being asked when they'll have children, tired of working holidays and weekends for the parents who do need off, tired of the cultural assumption that motherhood is the pinnacle of womanhood. And if you don't want that, are you really even a woman? I know moms who were once dads, and non-binary parents who don't get their own special day, and queer women who go by Papa. I know feminists who are moms, and gentle, tender-hearted men, both camps resenting the gender essentialism of Mother's Day, which is often used to lift up virtues like compassion, patience, and nurture, as if all women embodied those things, and as if few or no men do. Mother's Day cards show flowers. Father's Day cards show bacon and tools. In an age of new understandings of sex and gender, Mother's Day can feel a little old-fashioned, I guess, but I still like it. And by God, I still think moms deserve at least one day a year to be celebrated and honored and spoiled and cared for. So what I want you to know is that this Mother's Day reflection is inclusive. Average moms are welcome here, and super moms, and trans and non-binary moms too. Moms who feel like failures, y'all come on in. Moms of grown kids, extra moms for kids who just happen to need one right that moment. This includes you. Non-moms, sisters, daughters, the men who love and cherish moms. Y'all come on in too. There's plenty of coffee and there are plenty of mimosas. Enough for everyone. Mothers right now are in an unprecedented situation. Just as COVID-19 has illuminated the racial, class, and economic fault lines in our unequal society, it has shown a light on the ways that women, especially mothers, are likely to be adversely affected in any societal breakdown, not just this one. Helen Lewis, writing in The Atlantic, pointed these things out. When people try to be cheerful about social distancing and working from home, noting that William Shakespeare and Isaac Newton did some of their best work while England was ravaged by the plague, there is an obvious response. Neither of them had childcare responsibilities. For those with caring responsibilities, an infectious disease outbreak is unlikely to give them time to write King Lear or develop a theory of optics. Purely as a physical illness, Lewis goes on to say, the coronavirus appears to affect women less severely. However, we are not just living through a public health crisis, but an economic one. As much of normal life is suspended for 3 months or more, job losses are inevitable, and we have seen that as of today, edited by me to add that we just got the jobs report with the highest number of unemployment since the Great Depression. And yes, women are disproportionately suffering unemployment. At the same time, Helen Lewis goes on to say, school closures and household isolation are moving the work of caring for children from the paid economy, nurseries, schools, babysitters, to the unpaid one. The coronavirus smashes up the bargain that so many dual earner couples have made in this developed world. We can both work because someone else is able to look after our children. Instead, couples will have to decide which one of them takes the hit. There's ample proof that this is so in lessons learned from previous epidemics, both here in the US and abroad. In West Africa, for instance, men's pre-Ebola epidemic pay levels, they returned to normal fairly quickly, while women stayed at their lower levels of work and pay for much longer, years longer. In addition, we know in developed countries that women are more likely to work part-time than men. Of all the unemployed folks in the UK, which is where this study came from, 40% of women worked part-time and only 13% of men worked part-time. I suspect that these numbers are pretty much applicable to most northwestern developed nations. And what it means, though, is that when the question of who will do the caring is raised, it's more often women who will retain their external work levels, simply adding extra home and familial care to their crowded schedules. And in other cases, it will be women who relinquish long-term goals and careers in order to do the caring that just has to be done. And it does. We know that it does. We do live in times when many men are stepping up to co-parent and co-manage the household. And that is huge, wonderful news. Thank you. In addition, some corporations seem to have reached the conclusion that workers are more effective and committed if given basic human dignities like paid sick and family leave, subsidized childcare, decent health care, and workplace protections from physical and emotional dangers. Progress. However, our society is still largely structured along binary gender roles. And in most cases, it's the women in the home who will take on the lion's share of extra homeschooling, cooking and cleaning, healthcare management, and other time-consuming but unpaid labor. We're pausing here because I have to sneeze. Now, consider the fact that the large majority of healthcare workers, nurses, aides, support staff, many doctors, are women. These moms and daughters and sisters and grandmothers, many of them hourly workers, few of whom can choose to stay home if they also want to eat, are under tremendous pressure and stress during the coronavirus pandemic. And now they must also worry about keeping their families safe from the virus that they may be exposed to daily. And finally, consider the fact that many of our politicians are using this time of national emergency to push through anti-woman, anti-family, anti-human policies, while many of us are distracted, and rightfully so. The back and forth on abortion access in Texas is just one example. The same thing is happening across the nation from local levels all the way to the Supreme Court. Everything from the right to hold employers accountable for careless death-dealing actions during this crisis to these denials of safe science-based care for reproductive services. Everything is at risk right now. If we really want to honor our mothers, flowers are nice, and bacon and tools are also nice for many of us. But what we need, what all of us really need for moms, isn't one day of kindness and coddling. Although you better be kind and coddle us today, okay? We need change. We need leaders who not only care for women, but leaders who are women. True facts. Countries with female leaders have fared better than those where men are in charge. Just saying, Google it. We need all the moms to vote, and we need every child of a mother to vote against these harmful policies as well. If you are lucky enough to have had an amazing mother, vote to tell all of us that we are loved, appreciated, and supported in the way that you have been. If you have or had a difficult, fraught, or toxic relationship with your mother, vote to help other women get accesses to resources that the hurt and hurtful mothers in your life perhaps did not have. Give new moms and new families better chances and better choices than the ones who have come before. Vote, vote, please vote. And until that next election comes along, make noise. Call your senators, your representatives, your state legislators. Call the county and the city and ask what their parental leave policies are. Check in with Planned Parenthood of Greater Texas or with your community health center and ask what do they need to bring health care to their clients. Absolutely send flowers to your mom, especially if she'd like them. And if you can, maybe also send pizza to a local nursing home for the staff, or to the hospital or doctor's office, where the majority of the employees are women facing dangerous work without hazard pay and often without recognition. Send a card to your best friend, who might be like mine, working full-time from home and keeping her kids on track with schooling and doing most of the meal planning and prep and coordinating household chores and healthcare necessities, and she's got a great supportive husband. And if you're a mom yourself, I am. So if we are together, let's accept all this love and affection and support as our due. God knows, and we do too, that for most of us, it's earned. And also moms, you vote. We vote. Let's make our voices heard not just at home, but everywhere. In the grocery stores and childcare centers and offices and schools, in the hospitals, in the halls of justice, in the Senate, the Supreme Court, the House of Representatives, and the White House. Because you know who you don't want to piss off? The moms. We brought you into this world and, well, you know the rest. Happy Mother's Day, and amen.
This is what we do with our faith. Live in this world knowing that we will lose each other, loving despite the hard bargain it demands of us, doing what we can so that truth may be safely lived, measuring our faith by the difference we have made, and building up faith communities to continue after we are gone. At this time, I invite you to contribute to Community UU Church to support our work together, including these online services. You can give online. Just go to our website, communityuuchurch.org, and click on the blue Donate Now button. Thank you. We appreciate your gifts, including the gift of your time to participate in this service.
At this time, we join together to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. As we go forth into our day, let us remember the mothers in our lives. They remind us of the intimate, unbreakable needs for relationship and family that enrich and inform us all. Where we have been estranged or hurt, let us seek to learn and change ourselves, if not the other. And where we have been nurtured and healed, let us share that caring and compassion. Go in peace and offer your mom a mimosa. She probably needs it, and she almost certainly deserves it. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again very soon.
I'll walk in the rain by your side. I'll cling to the warmth of your tiny hand. I'll do anything to help you understand whisper of the joy that is mine. The leaves will bow down when you walk by, and morning bells will chime. I'll walk in the rain by your side. I'll cling to the warmth of your tiny hand. I'll do anything to help you understand. I'll love you more than anybody can. The leaves will bow down when you walk by, and morning bells will chime.
Thank you for being part of our Mother's Day service. Next week is going to be extra special. It's our annual Music Sunday service, which we have figured out how to do online. It will feature performances from our own Christopher Wolf and Susie Gully, and then some extra special guest musicians. We hope you'll join us next week. Please click subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of Community UU Church's Sunday services. See you next time.